more can I say?
Top Billin. Yo, Eagles Collective. Now, while we may not have gotten the results that we wanted, at least out of the defensive coordinator search, at least we have clarity, right? So we can go on now and start to put the pieces together because guess what? That's what we do, baby. We ride or die no matter what. Fly, Eagles, fly. So, like my mom already said, you can't control the results, but you can control your attitude, right? You can't control the results, but you can control how you respond to it. So I choose to move on here. Vic Fangio in the building, and we're going to see how we can make this the best Philadelphia Eagles team yet in 2024. So I wanted to go over something right here, right? Because after, he was announced, I spent the rest of the night just watching Dolphins film, and Vic Fangio is Vic Fangio. We already know about the scheme. We were already running it. But he has some variations of the scheme himself, to me, that really puts the onus on how we need major upgrades on the second and third levels, right? I want to actually go through a couple of things right here. And it was against us, right? Matter of fact, let's check it out right now. Yo, conference championship time. Only 4 teams left, and I know everyone is excited. But you should be even more excited when you hear what your boy, who is partnered up with DraftKings once again, has to offer you. New customers placing a $5 bet will get $200 in bonus bets instantly. All you have to do is head on over to your Google Play or Apple Store, download that DraftKings Sportsbook, and it's on, baby. Want to know what you can do with $200 in bonus bets? You can combine multiple bets within the same contest to level up for an even bigger payout. And keep this in mind, if you're already signed up for DraftKings like me, you can get a no sweat bet. That's if your same game parlay doesn't hit, you can get that bet back. And if you don't have online wagering in your state, it's all good. DraftKings Daily Fantasy is your chance to join in on the fun while having a shot to win some cash prizes. Make sure you download that DraftKings Sportsbook app. Enter the promo code TOPBILLIN. New customers betting $5 will get $200 in bonus bets instantly. It couldn't be any more fun. Remember, the crown is yours. All right, so it's going to be a long off season. Your boy been doing my 1-2 thing. I don't want to totally let the cat out the bag of my process here, but I usually break things down to very minute details. So I've been going back looking at Vic Fangio just against 11 personnel, how he counters 11 personnel, how that may differ from Sean Desai. Now, keep in mind, this is the Philadelphia Eagles playing the Miami Dolphins, which means Sean Desai is in the building. He's running Vic Fangio's scheme for the Eagles. They're going against the actual Vic Fangio, right? He wouldn't know that about 5-6 months later, Vic Fangio will be taking his job. That's crazy. But look at this right here. So this, right, obviously 11 personnel for us. We're out of the pistol. We have Swift and Goddard in the game right here, flexed off. 11 personnel, 3 receivers there, and they counter with base personnel, meaning they're base 3-4. Now listen, as much as I said that Eagles played 3-4 last year, I showed it before the year covering Sean Desai in Seattle. You still have people as of a few days ago that said, do we want a 3-4? It's a 3-4 scheme. It's the Fangio scheme. That's what he does. Look at this base 3-4 here, and you will see that. All right, let's roll this right here. Don't worry about the results of this right here, but you can see the makeup of that particular defense. What happened off the snap? This is a first down. You see the corners bail off. So we are aware of that, right? These corners are bailing off. That could be anything, right? So they're bailing off, and it happens to be a run. So that's going to put mad pressure on somebody to come up and fill. As you can see right here, my man Javon Holland having to do that there. But with that being said, if you're in base personnel, what does that do right here? Christian Wilkins, Raekwon McMillan, Long, all these guys right here, right? These second-level players, Van Ginkel, and, of course, the guy who was flexed off, right? Let's go back. That's damn Bradley Chubb. Bradley Chubb's one of the best edge players in the business. He's over a slot wide receiver. Now, he gets to crash down and set the edge. He crashes down too far, but you get what I'm saying there. He's out in space. We seen this with our guys. We do have a guy like Nolan Smith who can probably play out in space a little bit better there, but you can see them the cat crash down right here. You can see Bradley Chubb coming up right here. So that is indeed Bradley Chubb. That's scary. That's really scary. You got to be extremely athletic. Javon Holland here coming to field, you know what I'm saying, on the alley or whatever like that. Man, I want people to think logically. What does that mean? These two guys have to be extremely athletic. You have to have edge players who are very athletic. You have to have safeties who can fill. All of that meshed in together. There will be needing some upgrades. There's no doubt about that. And I want to talk about Patrick Queen from the Baltimore Ravens. If you're going to do it, you're going to make this one last stand for Nick Sirianni. He's going to need the guys. You got to go out and get Patrick Queen. He's an athletic guy. We'll get to here in a second on a couple of reps here. He's an athletic guy who can cover, because when you start doing stuff like this and you'll stick in a base personnel, matter of fact, let's go on. We're still in 11 personnel. Fangio's still in that base 3-4. This time, my man is tethered to the line of scrimmage here. He'll be in Bradley Chubb. So they're in their normal 3-4 here, but you can see with the shifted alignment off the second level, is going to be the inside linebacker here who's going to have to get this slot receiver. So anyone want to see Zach Cunningham on a slot receiver? Yeah, that's scary. Absolutely scary here. And you can still see here for people, right? Now, I'm not saying that this happens on every 11 personnel. This is what stood out to me against this particular set. Obviously, we know they would go to the nickel set where they would remove a down lineman, and you would have that 2 out, 2 in, 4-man front based off 3-4 with 2 stand-up outside linebackers and then 2 off-ball linebackers there. But this is base personnel, and you can still see the alignment right here, the cushion given up by the corners, and I believe this is a run as well. Yep, it's our normal gap scheme, pull, run right there, so running power there. And we'll go back right here. You can still see it. Straight up. Look, Chubb. You got Siler here. Raekwon McMillan, Christian Wilkins, Van Ginkel here. You got my man Baker. I wish he was a free agent. Jerome Baker was a free agent, that would be hard. He could come to the Eagles as well. And of course, David Long here. So that's your normal 3-4 front against what most people, I would say 90% of the league, will run nickel against. And we see right here, it gets all the way to Javon Holland, one of the best players in the league. And, yeah, so essentially getting to Reed Blankenship there. Right? So we'll continue on. All right, now this time you have Van Ginkel out. And this time they are in 12 personnel. So you would normally expect some type of base personnel to go against a true base personnel on offense. But you can see how they play it right here. You actually have, let's see. All right, so Van Ginkel drops back in coverage. So you have your edge player dropping off in coverage. It's actually a deep curl there by Thin Diesel Devontae Smith. Look, he dropped it. Yeah. But look, Bradley Chubb here against the strength of the formation. So he's to the close side of the formation. And then they walk up David Long right here as well. So it's looking like, if anything, he would have had tight end coverage, man to man. So inside linebacker covering the tight end here. And also, yeah, like he was bluffing, but more, it's almost like a green dog situation. So if he's not here, he actually just going to drop off. So the tight end not coming, Dallas Goedert not coming, or Jack Stoll actually not coming. So he drops back in coverage. But you can see right there, Van Ginkel way down the field here, covering against a deep curl route. If a pitch is worth 1,000 words, what is this worth? Look, we're in 11 personnel, but this time spread. Thin Diesel look like he's coming in motion right here. He's going to stack behind, I believe, Julio Jones up here. You got Philly Flyer in the backfield. So Andrew Van Ginkel, right, your edge player, walked out over A.J. Brown. That's scary. You have Bradley Chubb here, who's kind of on the line of scrimmage, but looking like he could help in some type of shallow zone duty here. But it looked like you have David Long walked out over Julio Jones, or at least over there working that hook zone. So, yeah, that's a lot of space to be playing these guys in a base personnel set there, but it actually works. You had David Long there with Jerome Baker, I'm sorry, had eyes on the backfield. We can see it right here is Baker right there. So he has eyes on the backfield. Looked like we were flooding the field just to scoot it out to the back, out of the backfield, hoping nobody would be there. Looks like it was an edge breach here. Jordan Mailata getting beat by Brad Chubb there, but they would be in his zone, right? Kept the cornerback there, and then Jerome Baker had eyes on him as well. But you can see they're putting a lot of pressure, and then of course, look at the spacing. Look at the cornerback spacing in that zone there. Very passive aggressive defense, right? It's aggressive, but not really. Very passive aggressive. They will roll to the post there, but it looks like a lot of the time, man, he would rather play with a too high shell. Listen, I definitely think we can do it. He can improve it. It's Vic Fangio, so you would think he would be the best one to run his scheme, right? So maybe he's worth a multi-game improvement just because he's running his own scheme there instead of somebody trying to run it for him out here. But I mean, we shall see. If you don't have the players, man, I hate to break it. This is a Jimmy's and Joe's league, man. You have to, especially on defense. You can trick people on offense. Defense is about the players, and I'm always the one here to tell you that shit. Defense, you have to have the players, right? Scheme be damned. You better have the players. All right, last one right here because it represents a further change. This one is a complete spread, still in 11 personnel, but they counter finally with the nickel formation, and they also bring in another lineman, or another edge player, Jalen Phillips. So they have multiple dope-ass edge players there that your man was working with there. Jalen Phillips, Van Geekel's pretty dope, and Bradley Chubb is the truth. Your man Phillips here has double-digit sack potential, no doubt about that there. Still on that too high shell. Get a bell, right? Watch the corners right here. You get a bell from them, right? It looks like it's actually man coverage on this one, right? Off man, they get that biggest gainer too. Because it looks like, if I'm looking at this correctly, yeah, that looks like a linebacker over here against Philly Flyer DeAndre Swift. So this would be their fabricated pressure scheme, maybe? I don't know. He's still only rushing 4, though. Right? Hell, it looks like he only got to rush 3. And then it becomes a huge gainer for Dallas Goedert right here. Biggest on the drive. So, yeah, technically, right, with the wrap, your man Bradley Chubb doesn't even really get into the play right here to rush. And you only end up getting 3 there. And good block right there by Devontae Smith. So I know Baltimore Ravens fans going to be running up in here, right? Obviously, I have a ton of Baltimore Ravens fans on the channel from covering them for a couple of seasons or a season and a half or whatever like that, or covering Lamar Jackson, really. But I know how they are. So they can't read the writing on the wall, but I can. If you decline someone's 5th-year option and draft a linebacker really high while signing another one to a huge contract, probably not much room for Patrick Queen unless he takes a sweetheart deal to stay in Baltimore. So to me, he's worth more to other people than he may be to Baltimore, even though I'm pretty sure he's worth a lot to Baltimore there. So Patrick Queen calls Ravens not picking up 5th-year option a blessing in disguise, not thinking about future. His future, right? This was in June. Obviously, that man had another dope-ass year. And as we see, as of right now, it's no 5th-year option for him. So he's a free agent coming this season. Come on, he's not absolutely perfect. All right, real quick. One of the things that I used to remark about when I covered the Ravens was Queen's inability to get off blocks. I see him work. He worked on that a little bit this year, and I saw in certain instances there where he wasn't necessarily impacted by offensive linemen getting in on him, right? You see the center right here, comboing up to him. He takes presence, right, with that outside foot in that gap, and then make sure that, right, he's the man with the greater presence in that gap, and he's able to disengage here and get to the ball carrier right here. But my thing about him is the dude can flat out run, right? 4.5 speed. He was a former running back in college. I believe he might have got to LSU and was a running back and was switched to the other side of the ball. He was a late bloomer at LSU. At least he got a shot late. But he came on super strong, man. He was a first-round pick. Check that out. Look at him sink underneath right there, the tight end with that over and under coverage right there. You can see him communicating that. For real, I didn't get that perfectly there, but you can see him with that inside leverage there, sink right into the hip pocket, right on that ass, right? Pause. Oh, they went to the other side there. Look like they still think Kyle Hamilton's a man cover guy, but you can see Queen right here. Looks like they have Roquan Smith mugged up, but yeah, he can flat out run. You want to infuse some athleticism, grab Patrick Queen. Here he is on the edge, covering the back out of the backfield here. So look at that. Oh, he instantly took that on the shuffle. You see him stay over top of the back. Like, you better be able to run these days at the second level, man. Right there, instantly take. Oh, they almost rubbed him there. Pause. He gets by Michael Pittman's attempt at a block there. Takes a great angle to stay on top of that wheel route. Last one right here, you can see him in man coverage. Once again on the tight end there. Showing off those wheels. The ball went elsewhere. But you get the point what I'm saying. They actually trust him to be in coverage a lot. And the guy can run so well that I believe he can pick up on things, though. I won't say he'll be perfect. I don't think there are too many perfect linebackers covering tight ends and wide receivers these days, but some are better than others, and I believe he has the ability to be better than others. All right? So we continue to roll along, man. I'll have more different aspects of Fangio's defense here, but you got to make sure you're sharing the content, baby, because sharing is caring, right? And if you ain't sharing the content, baby, that means you don't care, right? You don't care, I don't care, though. So listen, I got to be upfront, though. After this season, man, I was going to take an inventory of the channel here and maybe do a complete reset. I'm not totally sure if I'm going to keep the Philadelphia Eagles coverage, but we shall see. You know what I mean? Just being honest about the situation there. He could go a number of ways. Hopefully we keep it rolling with the Eagles coverage, man, because it's definitely fun. Covering my team and all that, but it comes with a caveat of obviously covering the team during the season means you have to be here present watching the game. So I can't be kicking it with the homies and there on all that, right? Too many times there because you got to work the game. So covering other teams meant I could always watch Eagles games with the homies, though. So we shall see. All right. It's your boy Jersey Murph as always, man. Much love to everybody out in the entire Jersey. Much love to South Jersey, of course. Cinnamon Sin. Shout outs to Salem. Shout outs to Camden, Atlantic City, Millville, Bridgeton, Vineland, of course. Man, big shout outs to Elton, Maryland, Newcastle, Delaware. Shout outs to Wilmington, Delaware. Shout outs to Christiana and Newark. And big shouts to Philly. South Philly, what up?
What more can I say?
Top Billin.